What is going on, everyone? Welcome back on Blockchain. So today I want to talk about the sandbox again. And guys, I know that I've been talking about the Metaverse topic also in my recent video, but there have been some very recent updates that I feel compelled to share with you, as they are very much in line with the thesis that I have discussed previously on this channel. And before we jump into the content, guys, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and also turn the notification bell on, because you will see that the content that I tend to upload is rather time sensitive, so you want to be up to date. So let's jump right in. In my last video that I encourage you to go and watch, and I put the card in the video above, I discussed what I define as the Metaverse play, a Metaverse bet for the next, say, 6 months. This is more or less my horizon. And this Metaverse bet entails the purchase or the investment of in the sandbox and in the Decentraland, investing in parcels of land in either or both of these metaverses. Now, there are also other metaverses, there are other games that are coming up that are partnering with other projects, but I'm mainly focused on these two for a number of reasons. But the main reason that I want to focus on is basically what really stands at the core of what I discussed in this video, which is the fact that so many projects are partnering up with either the sandbox or the Decentraland. And by projects, I mean NFT collections, crypto projects in the space, NFT projects in the space, and or also big brands. And my thesis is there are so many brains that are tinkering about how to make this big, about how to create some value out of this main idea, this big, large concept of a metaverse, a place where people meet with their virtual avatars and do stuff together. There's so many people that are investing into this idea that somebody will come up with something cool that will work. So for me, it's very hard to say, okay, this project specifically will make it. This specific NFT collection, say the Lazy Lion, say the Ducks, or whichever collection picked straight from the animal kingdom you want. For me, it's very hard to say this one will make it and this one will not. But what I know is that somebody will crack it, and part of their project, part of their partnership programs is to partner up with the sandbox or the Decentraland metaverses. So what happened yesterday, and we come back to the core of this specific video, what happened yesterday was that the news came out that Snoop Dogg partnered with the sandbox, and the partnership entails Snoop Dogg having a big plot of land in the middle of the Decentraland, where he's gonna host parties in the future, but specifically a huge party, sort of inaugurational party soon, and there are also going to be tickets that are going to be sold to attend this party. And some of them have been already sold. Actually, a big portion of them have been already sold. There are 1,000 tickets in total, and about 640, if I'm not mistaken, have been already sold out. And this primary sale, occurred yesterday. Now, in the primary market, so when the sale occurred directly from the sandbox, the sale price, the selling price, was around $700. In sand terms, it was around 1,000 sand, a little bit more if I'm not mistaken. But in USD terms, it's about $700. And in a matter of a few hours, we reached the same price level that we're seeing here. And actually, for a few minutes, we were even above. We touched, I think, 1.9 Ether for this ticket. Now, even if we just look at this price point right now, This is a sevenfold increase, almost sevenfold increase between the price on the primary market and the price on the secondary market. Does it mean that this will keep on rising? I don't know, and I do not know. But looking at the past, looking at what happened, this shows that there are so many more buyers than sellers, say, for this particular token. So the demand is there for this kind of events. The demand is there for big names holding concerts, parties, events in the metaverse space. So now, why I want to also focus on the sandbox specifically. So we have been witnessing in the past few months a series of public land sales. On September the 30th and on November the 4th, there will be one more sale. In this sale, we will see that part of the tokens, of the tickets that remain, and in particular, we can see that the sandbox game still holds around 340 tickets that are not being sold yet. Okay, they haven't sold these yet. They plan to sell these during these public land sales. And here is how. If you guys have been watching this channel, you might be familiar with this type of content. So in the public land sales, what happens is that typically they divide land in two categories: normal land and premium land. The normal land is very often priced at 1,011 sand, and the premium land is very often priced at 4,683. Now, for every public sale, there is something nice, something interesting that is bundled with the premium land. So you are buying the land, but you also buy something else that comes with it. In this case, if you buy the premium lots, you also buy a ticket for the party. That's the idea. Now, you might be wondering, how much is 4,683 sand in old money in Ethereum? 4,683 sand is 1.08 Ether. And you say, wait a minute, this makes absolutely no sense. And it makes no sense because the ticket itself is at 1.55. So how is it possible that buying a plot of land with the ticket costs less than buying the ticket alone on the secondary market right now? And this is pure speculation, but what my opinion is that the market is pricing in the fact that in the past, these public land sales were so successful, that the parcels of land sold in a matter of seconds on the primary market. And so it's pricing in the fact that the probability of you getting into this kind of deal is very, very limited. You need to be very, very quick with your fingers on your mouse to get a hold on a plot of premium land. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe the sale will not go very well, but if history repeats itself, we will see a public land sale that will entail the land selling off rather quickly in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. Now, in the past, we have seen land sales going wrong. It happened a couple of times, say, but in the vast majority of cases, you were looking at sales that went extremely well. And I'll tell you something now. This is the primary market price, so about 1,011, which is 0.23. The floor price for land, as we speak, is 0.42. So, ceteris paribus, basically everything else being equal, if you buy land from the primary market, you can immediately flip it on the secondary market for a handsome profit. Is this an arbitrage? No, it is not an arbitrage because there is some risk involved. And the risk is that the floor will not hold. And this has happened in the past. We have had some instances where the floor price for parcels of land in the sandbox has been dropping very low, but these instances are rather rare in the history of this token. So the reason why I talk about this with such conviction is because, historically speaking, investing in the primary market sales to flip on the secondary market was an extremely profitable investment when it comes to the risk-reward ratios that you would have in that kind of trade. So it doesn't mean that you will make 3x. It means that the price you're paying in terms of risk for the amount of returns that you're taking are typically justified, okay? And now, of course, none of this is investment advice. You do you, but I'm sharing with you what I think and the latest developments in the space that I believe are very relevant for also my long-term thesis. Now, this video is by no means sponsored or affiliated with the sandbox, so I have no incentive other than sharing this with you, coming from the sandbox, for instance. I have no interest like that, but I just think that this is a very interesting trade. Now, you might go chase a bubble, you might go buy one of the animal NFTs that are out there, but I think that it really doesn't hold comparison with what we have here. Also for the short term. So typically I hate flipping. It's not something that I do, but this is, in my opinion, an easy flip or a lower risk. Let me clarify this: a lower risk play compared to many others that I see. Now, the reason why I say it's for two reasons. Number one, because I've done similar trades in the past, and secondly, because I have purchased this token myself and turned to be a good investment for me, and I flipped this token already for a decent profit. Now, what I specifically for this token here, what I project in the future, my outlook say for this token is the following: we will see a correction on the 30th and on the November 4th. And this, of course, will occur because not every one of those participating to the public land sale that will buy premium land, that will manage to buy premium land, will want to hold on this token. So we might see a plunge in price. However, long term, one thing that I'm seeing is that the spread, the way this token is distributed is very, very good. You have 1,000 in supply, and right now it's even less. It's 614 supply virtually, because the sandbox doesn't count because they are the issuer and they still have to issue it all. Basically, the vast majority of the owners of this token just own one ticket. And that's very good. If you have watched other videos that I've done, I always talk about the fact that having a good distribution that is as even, as flat as possible, as equal as possible amongst the participants is typically an indication of value. If you go and watch the distribution coefficient, so the so-called Gini coefficient of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, of the CryptoPunks, and Lazy Lions as well, the sort of top tier projects, they tend to have very good distribution, very much spread amongst the participants and not too much concentrated in very few hands. And this is what I am forecasting also for this ticket. And if that plays out, so we will also see an increase in price also from this price point. However, guys, none of this is investment advice, just sharing with you what I think and how this relates to my sort of more macro and more long-term thesis. If you find this content useful to do your own research, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. With that, guys, see you in the next video. Ciao.